Hey there, I'm Little Howtown, and this is a brand new Let's Play of Luck Be a Landlord. Um, this is one of my all-time favorite games. It is a slot machine deck builder, more or less. If you're not familiar with that, that's okay. Just to give you guys a heads up while we get started, I have played through this game, and so I'm kind of familiar with it already. The developer has posted a new end game that I'm very excited to explore. I think it's going to do wonders for the game as far as replayability goes. And I was so excited about it, I wanted to start back from the beginning again. So that's what we're going to be doing here. So in this game, you basically have to pay rent. There is a little bit of a narrative storyline. I am going to kind of get to the punch. We owe this dude 25 bucks, and we've got 5 spins to get there. We start with 1. The game costs 1 to spin the wheel. At the beginning, you get 5 symbols. It's these 5 symbols here. You get a cat. Has a synergy with milk. It will destroy milk if it's next to it, and gives extra coins when it does it. Got a pearl. There are other things that have synergies with that. There's coins. Everything has a synergy. Coins can be kind of weird. Sometimes can be kind of fun. The cherry is a fruit. There's a whole fruit thing going on in the game, and then there's a flower, and then there's quite a few different flower things floating around in the game as well. So at the beginning of your game, we just press spin. I'm going to be using keyboard shortcuts. But yeah, that's the idea. You spin, everything pays out. I have the animation set pretty darn fast because usually they're just paying out 1 at the beginning of the game. Sorry if it's hard to follow, if this is a new game for you. This is just going to be a playthrough from where I'm at. So I'm going to try to fill in some of the blanks while I'm getting started on this first episode. And then from there, we're just going to play the game, I think. So early game, what I'm looking for are things that do other things. Like, for instance, the monkey consumes bananas and coconuts. That can be pretty decent. Gives 6x their value. And then there's other monkey synergies in the game too that you can look for. There's key that open chests. Chests to open are always nice. This goes away, as we'll be finding out. Destroying symbols is very, very good. You only have 20 slots in your slot machine to put these symbols. And so when those fill up and you have more than 20, you're not going to see them every time. So then you get this inconsistency problem. It's delightful. It is such a good game. The snail doesn't pay, but pays every 4 spins. It has a little timer on it. These usually don't do much for me, so I'm usually leaning into one of these two. I'm going to take an early monkey, and we're going to spin the wheel again. Now we got all 6 out on there. And we rolled 6 single ones. The bee has an early synergy with flowers. It pays out more for itself, and it makes the flower pay double. So we could do that. Miner gets 20 coins when they break one of these ore. And we have an ore over here. That's what they look like. And an ore will pay out with a stone of some kind. Miner can be good early. Let's lean into it. There's a whole gem strat for like the mid and late game that has some legs on it. That we could maybe start thinking about wanting to get into. I love messing with rarity. This gives you basically 10% more rarity chance as far as I understand it. That's kind of how I think about it, at least. But it's such a small amount. Probably not going to go that route. Bubbles go away on their own and they're worth 2 instead of 1. Kind of love that. We'll take the bubble and spin. Alright. We did take the miner, so let's go ahead and grab the ore and get him started on something. Now, in this guy and that ore are adjacent on a spin, he'll destroy it and he'll get 20 gold for it, which would be great. Might not happen right away. So we owe this guy 25. We've got 33 in the bank. No problem. We're a little bit ahead of the game. We've got 8 left, and we need to pay 50 in 5 more spins. Rabbit Fluff I like early. This gives you 20% rarity, and it's worth 2, and that's really good. There's a lot of hexes in the game. They always come with a downside. but they give 3, which is pretty big money, especially in the early game. And there are some things that go with it that can make them stronger later. But we're gonna go more traditional here and stick with rabbit fluff for now. Start trying to find some uncommon and rare things instead of just commons. So these are items that go on the side of our board and just remain active outside of our symbols. And each one has their own thing going on. I don't think I'm playing bananas. This is fine. This is a reroll symbol. So there's a power in the game where you can reroll your draft. So that's something that we could be doing instead. And then if you have these 2 icons next to each other, you have to get a ninja and a mouse. We have neither, but they give 5x when they touch each other, which is pretty alright. That's going to happen like only if we go down that rabbit hole. I guess we can do that. Alright. Minor Minds. I didn't see what we got. You can press this inventory button and see your stack. So we have less than 20 symbols, so we've got 11 blanks right now, and then these are all of our symbols. And then there's our item, and we can just hover over and check stuff about them. So we're going to be obviously looking at this a lot. If we need to check our destroyed symbols, they're all kept down there too. Anyways, where are we at? We just got a pearl, so we've got 2 pearls now. It means basically nothing to me. Dwarves drink, they give 10x their value, which is pretty good. So we might pick up one of those. Yeah, let's go that way. The 3-sided die is fine. I don't really care for dogs. They can become wolves, and then there are some synergies you can play with, but they're not super strong as far as I can tell. Now, the game was updated. I haven't played it in a while. I went up all the floors that were available, and then I kind of took a break from it. But now there's like new floors to get to, and I know that there have been some changes to the game since last I've played, so I'm going to be learning alongside you guys what's like good in the game and what doesn't seem to really have legs on it. I will take the dice early. The Gambler is new to me. It has a capacity to be like very strong in the early game, and I like to get that before the dice if I can. Let's take the anchor. When it hits the corner, it gives 4 more, and we're right now kind of just looking to fill up the board. We've got 9 empty slots, and so it's going to be important that we just start generating coins. So this will be a way to every now and again give us a slight bump, and just fill our board otherwise. So there's the Gambler. It's late. We took the mouse. Yeah, so let's take a mouse. So now we're looking for a ninja, and then that little combo will start hitting. Alright, so we need to pay 50. We've got 91. We're almost halfway to our next payment. 106 spins. Let's see. Now the big ore adds 2 things when it's destroyed instead of just 1. I think it's okay to take. It's worth 2 until it's destroyed. This gives extra. This kind of piles onto that. So every time we destroy something, it gives more money. I like that. These symbol bombs let you do like more drafting for items if you're looking for something specific. Usually they list the set of things they come from. I'm not really in the market for that, and I will admit probably a glaring fault in my gameplay is that I just love the cat strats. In the earlier iterations of the game, there was some just absolutely broken stuff that you could do with cats, and it was hysterical. And I just always go cats if I can. But this is better right now, so we're just going to take this. Pizza the Cat's good, but it's not great. And we only have 1 cat. We're not even fooling around with that kind of thing yet. Alright, we've got another ore. We should probably take it. At this point, I'm starting to think, like, probably leaning into gem strats if we can get some good gems out of this. If not, we're going to have to like really start fiddling around with removal. I think the game is more generous with removes. It's like an ability that you can gain. They're like one-time use removals, and they're very strong. It helps you control what's happening and gets you to be like more consistent. So it's really good. So the wolf, as you can see, is worth 2. There are things that go with it, but it doesn't have any of its own subtext. Crabs are a matching game, and I'm not into playing it right now. This is a skip for me. usually, but I have 5 more slots to fill up. I'm still skipping. We're ahead of payment, so this is where I'm not gonna like clutter my deck up with extra stuff. And that's basically, I guess, how I'm gonna be trying to play most of the time. Coconut, did we take a monkey? Yeah, we did. So we could take the coconut half for that, and it will get rid of itself. Rain is worth 2 and persists, but we're not really doing flowers, so I'm just gonna roll. More fluff, I love that. I think I actually love that more than ore. I would love to start getting to see more rares. Now the sea itself is an uncommon, so it increases the appearance of its own self. It's lovely stuff. It can get out of hand sometimes. Alright, we got a better gem. That one's worth 2 a spin. The pufferfish has some like sea life strats. I don't know about this one. Where am I at? Sapphires give 2. I guess I should just take the ore. At some point you're going to clutter your board up with more stones than you want, and they're not really valuable, especially if you don't have like a rare that acts as a multiplier. That's a lot of times what rares do. So we're well ahead of rent. That's great news. We've basically made our next rent. Let's see. Alright, so we're starting to get help in the mail. So this guy writes us, "Hello, comrade. Your local mutual aid network has heard of your rent situation. To help with your trials, we're giving you 2 rerolls and 2 removals to help defeat your landlord. Stay strong." These are great little drops that you get over the course of every run. As you ascend in difficulty, you get, I think, less of them. I'm not sure about that, but I think so. We're going to find out. Let's see. The thief, we don't have any way to take him out. So he steals your money, but then he pays out quadruple for what he takes. Can be good if you're kind of set up for it. There's a couple ways. Like a banana peel takes them out, and then there's I can't remember which guy. Basically hunts them. The bounty hunter. There you go. This is great. It gives 10 and goes away, so we're just going to take that. Lockpick is always good. This does help us a little bit, but not a lot. We have 1 pebble that persists. We're going to have this ore for a while longer, but it doesn't ping like all of those pearls that we have, for instance. So I'd say that's kind of a skip. We could have taken the tax evasion and worked with the thief. We're going to take the lockpick. It's always good. Alright, things are paying out. Chemical 7 gives 7 and destroys itself. It's also a set collect. When you get 3 of them, these symbol items persist. It pays 77 more, so that's usually good to chase. Yeah. Do we already have a toddler? We don't. So toddler messes with presents, candy, pinata, which is full of candy, and a bubble. We're taking chemical 7 because we're coming to the point now. We've got 2 free spaces. We want to start trying to not clutter up our deck of symbols. Alright, things are paying out pretty well. We're comfortably ahead of rent. The hustling capsule, when I'm ahead of rent, I can take these. It just gives you 1 every turn, but you can get multiples. I can't tell if it's good. I'm always kind of on the fence about it. Another removal could be strong. It's always nice to have. We should probably take it. I don't want a turtle. I do not want pearl. Silver arrow is good. It gives anything it points to, it spins, will triple its value. So it's kind of like symbol agnostic good. So let's take it because we have space for it and start getting some better payouts. And this will happen just constantly where it points to nothing and you get nothing for it. And to prove my point, it did it immediately. Never quite seems to point exactly where you'd like. Every now and again, though, it'll ting you. Alright, we've got a mouse, so we can grab the cheese. Let's do that. It's it on the first try. Pays out 16. That's great. Alright, we're double ahead of rent, and we still have a spin left. These urns, when they break, give spirits. Spirits pay 6 4 times and then they go away. So this can be very strong, like a solid generator for a little bit if you have a way to break them, but I don't. And I don't just want to fill empty space at this point, so I'm actually gonna abstain and hope that some other synergy lines up. All right, time to pay. Excuse me, my goodness. We owe 150. We got 330. We're so good. Next payment, we're nearly there. We get 7 spins. It's time to hit 2.25, so I'm not sweating. We don't want any of this. We skip this. All right, so for our item, get a removal every 10 spins is great, but we have 3 and we're not laden with problems yet. It might still be good to take these upgrade dogs and the wolves gives 1 more. We don't have any of that going on. These pull eggs out of your, there's an egg, out of your deck, out of your slot machine, and they just sit off to the side and they ping them for 1 every time for every egg. And it can hold 6. I'm taking the removal. Neither one of those other things are very good. Skipping an egg is easy. Alright. So we got a rare, the amethyst. It is a gemstone as well, which leans into like what's kind of happening on our board right now. When another symbol makes this symbol give more money, the symbol permanently gives 1 more, which is great. And we do have an arrow. I'm pretty sure that qualifies. So if the arrow points at it, it will become more valuable. We're going to take it because we've got gemstones anyways. So we're going to start trying to commit more to that, even though the pearls are not ideal. All right, we missed on the first spin. Pulled in 30. It's not terrible. Hey, cat. I don't think I can take you. Yeah, we're finally full up on symbols. We've hit all 20. So now we've got the removes, and so it's about replacement at this point. Is any of this better than what we have currently going on? This is one of the ways still that's very strong in the game, is to chase suits, card suits. They give adjacency bonuses to each other, and there are some rares that also act as multipliers. So this can be good if you get it to come together. I probably would have wanted to start it a little earlier than now to like start leaning into it. So we're going to skip that. Same thing for the rain. I think we're fine where we are. Still have 3 removes for when things go bananas, but they're not bananas. Still didn't point to my amethyst, but that's okay. Light bulb could be next to the amethyst. Let's take that and try to get that amethyst worth more. If we can get it up to like 6, 7, 8 in value, that's a nice piece on the deck coming out every turn. We've got 21 in the deck. Skipping this. Ooh, hits them both. That's great news. All right, what else? Got a monkey. Probably take the coconut. Yeah, let's do that. Give that guy something to do. We don't need any of this. We're gonna start skipping a lot more often. Yeah, so those things can end up happening. Monkey paid out 19 there by eating a coconut. Love that. All right. How ahead of rent? So we're halfway to next rent now. So we're gonna really need to kind of start pushing our engine here. All right, so we get 2 more rerolls, which we haven't used our first, and then 2 more removals, which again, we're kind of stockpiling them right now. We're making enough money to get by, and so it's better to have them and not need them. Yeah, that's basically where we're at with it. I'll take the wealthy capsule so it comes back out. I don't really need the rabbit or the thief for anything. Take one less spin to have. Okay. We don't have any of these items. Or symbols, rather. We don't have any birds either. And I don't play birds very often, to be honest. This is one of the ways that you can make your hexes better. None of these are great, but in the future I'd probably be... I haven't played with the dove yet. That's kind of new to me. I'm excited to try it out though. I'm not exactly sure how that will end up working. Ah, screw it. Maybe it comes up this game. Let's take it. Rolled a 34. I'm not in love with our rate of things happening. The ore would be fine, I guess. We're making extra on it too with that mining pig. Mining what? Yeah, mining pig. 95 on that roll. That's great. So we just made rent off of that one roll, which is cool. It pays nothing for 20 spins, and then it pays out with that guy. But this guy just eats hexes. So we'd have to lean into the hex strat, like basically right now to use it. I'm more tempted to try re-rolling and hopefully getting another rare. We did. It's Mrs. Fruit. She eats fruit like the monkey, but more of them, and she permanently gets better. I'm gonna look at how much fruit I've got. I've got one coconut half, and I've got a cherry. Alright, I think we pivot off of the monkey. Let's just take him out of the deck right now, so that Mrs. Fruit can get to that coconut. And we're going to start trying to feed her fruit as well. It's kind of going to be obnoxious with all these gemstones, but we need a bigger engine. Diamond is just good because it's 5. We've got gemstones on the board too. We absolutely take the diamond and forget what those other things ever existed. Alright, Mrs. Fruit ate them both, which is great. That got our deck to stay at around 21, which is cool. We can start removing some things we're not using, like we're not doing coins or flowers. So after this draft, we've made rent, so let's get, what do I want to take out? Yeah, we take out a coin and a flower. And then we just keep going with what we've got for now. It'd be great to get like a geologist or a diver who can like do something with the pearls. Speaking of, so it's Voidstone, when it's fully surrounded, will give you 8. And that's easy to do because our board is full. And 8 is better than our usual payout right now in the game. This is, for instance, like this is better to show up in the machine versus one of our pearls because it pays more. So we take it because it doesn't stick around anyways. 44 is decent. It's not great. We're passing here. I don't want hexes. We've barely got anything going on as it is. Alright. We are halfway to payment-ish. Treasure chest is great. We've got the lockpick. That's the reason that we set up this way. So let's take it and not question it. That's a good get. Barrel of Dwarves is ridiculous. It adds 7 dwarfs whenever you use it. I'd always wanted to use it, and before I actually reset my game, thanks to the developer for letting me know how to do that, so that I don't have any of my progress, and I'm going to do all the floors again. That's what this whole playthrough is about. I guess I didn't mention that. But yeah, I was able to pull it off in the one game that I checked out of the new update before I reset. And it was great. I'm hoping to get to do it again. Alright. I could add 3 bears, just have that on standby. Honestly, it's better than these other 2. And we don't have to use it. So let's just do that. Alright. Now we're getting some more bing bongs. Getting a couple more hits. I think this is a skip. We don't need this stuff. Boy, that arrow is just not doing much, is it? Safe is great. It pays 30, and we have the lockpick. We're taking it. They'll crack. I was gonna say they eventually crack. 52 out of that chest is good. What's even better is if that silver arrow hits. So the bronze arrow is the same thing, but does double. I just don't find it quite good enough most of the time. Like having one spinny boy that pays 0 on its own is a commitment already. So we're gonna skip here. Yeah. Pays out 31. That's great news. We're going to give a coconut half to Mrs. Fruit. She's going to love it. She loves fruit. Oh, they're not next to each other. That's such a shame. Have I been passing up fruit? I wasn't thinking about that. So we do have the dwarf. So we could get this beer, but honestly, it's like worth 10. Clogs up the deck a little bit. Like we could also just take nothing. Whatever, we'll take it. I'm perfect. He nailed it on his first try. All right, chemical 7. We have one already. We want to get 3 of them. So let's do that. It doesn't come out, but we'll probably roll it next time. We're going to use the light bulb to try to jack up the amethyst some more. I was trying to figure out a use case for this. This is the first time I've like landed on one. I kind of like it. Yeah, it hits it and then eventually it just kind of goes away. Love that. 350 and we're at 566. Let's see, 216. Yeah, we're like halfway there. We're doing pretty good. We're keeping ahead of the payment curve, which is nice. All right, so we get 2 more rerolls and removes. So we've got 6 rerolls now. Ooh, strawberry. Does she eat those? I don't think so. Mrs. Fruit doesn't eat rares, right? Yeah, she just eats commons and uncommons. So she won't eat this strawberry, but it is worth 3. I don't have any other fruit synergy though. So it feels like a reroll to me. So when after you pay, like you get, the later in the game, it seems like you get more and more rares in the draft. So I just end up re-rolling them, hopefully, to like get more rares. I don't know if it always works or not. Sometimes it feels like it's a little unsticky, and there's still a chance that I won't see a rare. Rabbit fluff. No, I don't want to lean into that anymore. Let's find a good rare. Omelet is food. It just pays 3. Like, it's just like strawberry. There's nothing that it's really doing. Let's dig deeper. Bartender messes with drinks. We could do that because he pays 3. Now, if he made a martini, this guy doesn't drink martinis. So that'd bonus. Well, not bonus. They're rare. They're worth 3, I think. Yeah. Let's keep going. Beehive. I like that. We could put a bunch of bears on the board. Let's do that. Let's get weird with it. It's probably not a great idea, but it sounds funny. All right, the 5th ace, card strats, always a good idea. We don't have them though. We're not messing with seeds either. This is also something I've like rarely gotten into. I guess maybe I could start leaning into it with Mrs. Fruit around. How could it grow? She won't eat a pear or an apple or a strawberry. Yeah, there's so many fruits that she wouldn't eat out of the seeds. Maybe if I had more going on. Wow, we could have doubled his likelihood. We didn't take that, right? We're not a crazy person. Now we took the beehive. We're nuts. Oh, beehive, double payout. Perfect. Let's take the conveyor belt. Sometimes the right answer just looks you right in the face. You gotta pay attention, my god. Mrs. Fruit's crushing it. I love that. Alright. None of this. No, coconut. Mrs. Fruit. Gotta find your fruit, lady. She doesn't eat banana peels, right? That would be just so bizarre. She eats bananas, but not the peel. What kind of woman? Alright. I don't want any of this stuff. Let's keep skipping. I feel like we're cruising. We're getting a little close to payments. Do we have the ninja finally? All right, we'll take it. We got 6 removes. Let's whittle this deck down a little bit. So we got 23 symbols in the deck, and there's like a bunch that we're not using. For instance, we haven't been able to get a stone synergy going, so I'm going to take the low stones out until we get down to 20 symbols. There. So now we're rolling everything every time. And look at that. First time we hit it. That's worth 15 a spin when they do that. Light bulb will probably hit our good stuff more often. We want it to hit the amethyst, so let's keep taking them. And beer's not terrible. Whatever. We don't need this stuff. It's better to resist if at some point, if you're generating money, just gotta lay off taking more stuff. But I do love stuff. And also things. Can't forget about things. Alright, where do we end up on this? We're slowing down a little bit. We're not quite halfway through the next payment cycle. Chemical 7 will help with that. That's our third one, so let's take it. There is a rare here we're passing up. This works okay. It's complicated. It makes arrows not pay 0. It makes them pay 3. That's actually all of this text. That's all it says. And then there's ways to mess around with his payouts, but we're not doing any of that, right? Nope. We took a birdhouse. Alright, we're taking Chemical 7. Getting out of dodge, save our rerolls. 5th ace came back? I don't want that. Triple coins can be really good, but we don't... Do we even hold our coin? Probably the first thing we got rid of. Gives 24 every 7 spins. And one less symbol to do. Ah, that doesn't seem very good. So it's like rolling... less than 4? Extra? No, we need to keep finding our synergies. That's why we've got our fluff. I'm going for rares. Alright, we've got honey on the board. What we should do is start getting bears. We don't want to take the bear, because we've got that item that gives us bears, right? Yeah, Goldilocks. You know the one. So let's skip here, and instead we'll flood the board with some bears. Cool. Let's take a look at the size of the deck real quick. We're at 24. How many removals do we have? We got 4 removes, so we can whittle it down some. Let's take away... I hate to do it, but it's going to be the cat. And then probably these luck stones. No, we'll get rid of one of the anchor. We're kind of done with that. Yeah, luck stones. Alright. A little aggressive to leave myself with no removes, but that's fine. We're going to give cherries for Mrs. Fruit. She's going to love it. Oh, Mrs. Fruit. That was amazing. Looks like she's paying 9 a turn now. We're doing right by her. That's wonderful. Alright, looks like we're going to make rent okay. Did 88 that spin? That seems good. Now, some of that is honey bonus. Would have been nice to take the bear multiplier. Man. You never know what's going to happen. We could take a gambler. We're actually low on symbols right now. And he'll go away because we have a 3-sided die that's rolling. We could look for better stones, I guess. We might just flat out need it. No, she eats peaches. Give it to Mrs. Fruit. Oh no. Oh no. That guy's funny. I like him. Let's bump up the amethyst. We've got the space too. We hit the amethyst with the spinny boy, and it got triple valued out of it. That's amazing. I think I'll take the common item here. I like to kind of try to get everything I can out of the item pools. And that's helpful. 3 whenever you get a multiple of 3. So that's going to hit randomly. I can't control that. This is a skip for me. We're at 19 symbols, maybe 18 now. Mrs. Fruit's paying 10. We're comfortably ahead of rents, but... No, we're in good shape. It looks like we scaled okay. I think it was the honey that really pushed us. Coconut half's good. Dame hits our gems finally. We should probably take one of those. So the Dame doubles value, and she drinks martinis. That would have been nice. We've got a couple of these boys. We've got one of them boys. So let's make those all better. And then she's worth 2 on her own anyways. It's a nice little get there. We don't need a contract to destroy people. People destroying is valid. It's fun too, but we're not really set up for it. That was the barrel of barrel of dudes that I got that worked so well. The dwarves just ate them. Bananas give more. I could see us having a banana one day. Maybe. It's a dream scenario, really. We don't need a monkey. We don't need any of this. So let's keep going. Ooh, she also rubs on the amethyst. My god, I'm so glad that I didn't hesitate to get her. Sometimes I don't do the geology thing too much, but here I am. Got a pickaxe and everything. Alright, we don't need this stuff. Let's just keep going. We could get an extra mouse, and so this synergy would come up more often. I don't know if I want to get in the way of the other things we're doing, though. Let's do the light bulb. Maybe we can also hit the amethyst with that. One of the things that I was hoping for with this update is that the game would become like puzzly just to beat it. In a sense, like you know that there are these ideal strats that really do work well when that's all you do. But in reality, the gameplay in the draft, you have to kind of take what you can get. And it seems to be that's a lot of what the game has become, and for me that's just an incredible achievement. I'm hoping it keeps playing out that way. It does seem like a lot of the runs are winnable. I am curious to see like how well I can do, since I do know kind of how to play the game from playing it before. If we can like chase dubs, is it realistic to think that you can win every time, like that kind of thing? Should be fun to check out. So these things are pointless, so let's not do them. Ooh, baby. Got 22 off the amethyst that turn. And if we're low on symbols, I'll take the extra mouse. Let's try it. Well, they did not hit each other. 3 bears are looking hungry. I'm not going suits. I hit the amethyst again. That's great news. So we got a couple rares to really start doing some things for us. We're very ahead of rent. We can just keep skipping. 39. Nice. Alright. I don't think we need to play the ore game. We do have a space to do it. We're pretty ahead of rent. I'm probably nitpicking at this point. 89 on the spin. That's great. We're most of the way to the next payment. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're in great shape. Could take another amethyst. Nah. I'm thinking about this strawberry. This is 3 rares. The amethyst is probably the right play. So we'll take it. That'll work well. We'll make room for it too. We'll remove something else. Gives one when a symbol's added. None of this is important. We'll just take the brown pepper. And then we'll look for removal. And it's gonna be one of the bears. Because we don't need that many bears. There is a 3 bear synergy, I think. And then there's rusted gear, which it sets a 3 adjacent. But we don't have that. And I'm pretty sure I don't see it very much. So we're not going to rely on that. Let's skip here. Things are hitting. Alright, we've already made rent. Let's give Mrs. Fruit a coconut. I love seeing her doing well. Ah, screw it. Let's give her a cherry too. Mrs. Fruit, you gotta eat. It's important for your health. There you go. You just really wanted a big meal. You were just like pacing yourself and you really sat down and had a meal. I get it. I like that. We don't need those things. Triple Mrs. Fruit, that's amazing. Let's give her another cherry because we like her. Yeah, she's up to 13. And Amethyst up to 15. That one's up to +2. Everything's going just fine. This is basically in the bag, so I'm gonna stop thinking about it too much. So these go down in value when you get more of them. I'm not gonna do that. Another amethyst would be fine. It's probably better than our stone, so let's just do that. I'm surprised to see so many. That's not usual, from my experience at least. But yeah, this one is a slam dunk. That's right, hit all the gems. 114. Nice. All right, we already can pay the last rent, which is great news. These are both fun rares. I like them both. This one is fine, but I don't like it as much as these two. We're just gonna roll for very specific rares. The adjacent symbol will be destroyed. Instead, it isn't. I'm curious to use that with like Mrs. Fruit and Dove. I wonder if I could pull that off. Let's try it since we're gonna win anyways, and see if it ever happens. Bears give more. We have bears. Let's do that. Bird, did you do something? I don't know. Let's give Mrs. Fruit a coconut. So she eats twice. Well, 3 times altogether. Let's see. Don't need that stuff. Rolling Hundo's fine. We can do the cherry or the peach is better. We don't need the chemical. So let's try to get this Mrs. Fruit thing to happen. Where is she? There she is. Nothing happened. Inventory. We're a little heavy. Let's just keep it where it is. Did the dove happen? No, the dove did not happen. The dove seems really hard to hit. Holy cow, 200 off a bear. We're gonna keep trying to make it happen. The dove is +2. It must have happened and I didn't see it. I'm not surprised. So the other thing about this game that I have set up is that the colors are not standard. I went like dark screen because it's easier for me to look at. And I sped up a ton of the animations. Sorry if that's hard to follow. And sorry if I've already mentioned that. Whichever. We are just cruising to a win here. Oh my god, I saw it happen. I saw the burb do the thing. So I guess it is possible. And so then they have the opportunity to eat the fruit again, right? Now, does Mrs. Fruit... I have to watch the footage. It's moving too fast for me to follow. Does Mrs. Fruit still get the buff from it? She's at 17. I will never find out. So, victory. Floor 2 is unlocked. Stats menu is unlocked. Great news. That is usually the way that we're going to be finishing these games is when they say victory. Now, you can continue playing in endless mode. Like, for instance, we can just keep going. Rent costs 1,000 and 10 spins. And we can keep playing. And every now and again, there's like something I almost got that I want to kind of try to see if I can finish in a few more turns. But for the most part, I like calling the game done when it's done. So that's what we're going to do today. Yeah, so thanks. Oh boy, look at all this fun stuff. You can add an extra symbol every 2 spins. We don't need that. Whatever, it's very rare. Let's take it. Let's go ahead and go back to the main menu. So now when we start, instead of the game starting, we're going to be on floor 2. We were there. Now rent 7 costs a little bit more. And we're going to keep climbing the apartment floors until we beat them all. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed. And I am looking forward to the rest of this series. Be well.